Good morning. There is a custom quoted in the Ramah that from the time of beginning of Slichos, the week before Rosh Hashanah, through the end of Yom Kippur, that there would be a total of 10 days in which one would fast. Most of us do not have that practice, but what has remained from that practice is the custom of fasting on Erev Rosh Hashanah. And the Torah already quotes that on Erev Rosh Hashanah specifically, there is an extra idea to fast, and he bases it off a medrash which mentions that the first third of Bnei Yisrael's sins would be forgiven on Erev Rosh Hashanah because on that day the Gedolim would fast. Now the Torah says, and that became the minhag Ashkenaz that everyone would fast. And the Beis Yosef points out, what do you mean everyone would fast? The measure says only the Gedolim. So based off of the Gemara and Tainus, the Beis Yosef points out that when simply putting one through discomfort, and in order to make oneself into what we call the Gadol, one would typically go ahead and do so, and that's where the practice came from. Now, the Hagos Maimonides on these comments on the Rambam actually points out that there's a reason not to fast specifically on Erev Rosh Hashanah, and that's a problem of Chukas Akum, that apparently there was a minhag for many non-Jews the day before their holidays that they would fast, and therefore the Hagos Maimonides quotes there were many that were concerned with this problem of Chukas Akum and would specifically not fast. In fact, the Ramah, based off of the Hagos Maimonides, and out of concern says that many would keep this practice of fasting on Erev Rosh Hashanah, but out of concern for that, Hagos Maimonides would make sure to get up early and to eat even prior to the onset of the fast. Now, Mr. Brewer says today some do that by drinking coffee or tea or the like. Now, the Hagos Maimonides, though, does conclude that it quotes the measures that the Torah quotes and the Yerushalmi in support of the practice of fasting on Erev Rosh Hashanah. And in fact, the Shulchan Aruch rules that one should try to fast on Erev Rosh Hashanah, and this is for many the common practice. Now, the Mishnah Berurah quotes from the Magen Avraham that if one does not feel well, then there is no need to fast. But it certainly is a minhag. Now, there's an additional concern which many Ashkenazi poskim have, which is that one should not enter into Rosh Hashanah totally famished. That would be inappropriate. And therefore, many Ashkenazi poskim have accepted a modified form of this practice, which is to fast only up to until Mincha Gedola and daven Mincha and go ahead, daven Mincha early and go ahead and home and eat. Or if it's difficult to fast, even until Chatzos, whatever one feels physically they are able to. When I was in yeshiva, I asked my Rebbe of Neuberger if this is the common practice. He said, yeah, it's a good minhag to keep as long as it doesn't hurt your learning or it doesn't hurt your ability to do tshuva on that day, or certainly your ability to prepare for Yom Tov. If any of those are concerned, then there is no obligation to fast, but it is a common minhag which is kept even to this day. The Chai Adam writes that another basis for this is that it's the last day of the year. Chazal had a Kabbalah that if we do tshuva even for one day per year, it's as if we did tshuva the entire year. So since this is our last chance, we do extra tshuva. And of course, one of the primary ways we often use to do tshuva is by fasting. And thus, the minhag in some shape or form is often kept by many Ashkenazim. Have a fantastic day.